Man, welcome to our first episode. We've been trying for a long time to record an episode, and then we've been finding ourselves, under some obstacles and barriers. But then,
We're here now.
yeah, we shall prevail. That's what they say in English. We shall prevail, and then. When I introduce yourself, I always introduce, and then I'll introduce myself, and then we move along. We're in a library, which is nice.
Yeah, see all books around.
It's giving us this feel of,
Yeah.
just chilling.
So my name is Tory Saint. I'm a poet, a writer, performing artist, an all-around good guy, I guess.
Man, good guys. It's someone else should tell you. Someone told me that someone else should tell you you're a good guy.
Why? Why should I wait for someone else to tell me?
Man, so I am Supermandla Waranzimande, and I go by the name of Almo SP when I'm on stage, because I'm also a spoken word artist, and we this whole thing, it's all because there are certain topics we usually have when we have our sessions, poetry sessions, and I feel like, certain topics, they deserve to be, certain conversation in a way, they deserve to be out there.
Sure.
And then maybe you'll find, you see, whatever we're talking about here, you relate somehow, somewhere, which is that would be lovely, because it's just helping us motivate the whole thing we're trying to do here. So welcome. I hope anything we talk about, you find some, to some degree, something you relate with.
Sure,
So,
definitely.
so what would you like to talk about? Just to set the tone, because I know you have something. Just tell me about your day. From there we're gonna. Because firstly, we forget late, which is something I've had to accept, and from that time, on my pen, from that time, Vua Ngokora. How you sleeping quarter past 6? You tell me.
6:15, yeah.
How are you gonna sleep in 6:15 where you have to be somewhere in the 9?
I realized better things alala, right? Because it's like, nah, I'm probably not gonna wake up at 9 if I go to sleep now.
Were you thinking about this whole thing?
But the podcast, no.
Man, you stress or hate though. Because I can only think it's the stress that's been holding you.
It doesn't necessarily have to be stressed to stay up at night.
But what
I mean, I think I'm a night person. That's what I've decided. When I can't function during the day, I function best at night. So
no, I need to think about that. I'm a night person.
yeah,
What does that mean?
it means I function better at night. I think my brain functions better at night. I have more energy at night. I'm a better version of myself at night.
You're going against many scientific takes.
Why science?
Man,
it's not.
I'm a night person. So when we believe good see your energy is more.
Yeah.
Why? Is it
I was born at
life?
night. I
Man.
was born at night. So it's after midnight. I'm like like a wolf after midnight.
Listen, that's fine, but man, the reasoning would see I was born at night. I don't know. I was born at night. Because I think now I was somewhere at midnight. Isn't it like most people you meet? It's like, if you had to find out what time they were born, it's probably on my midnight.
Quarter past 2 maybe.
Yo, daily. Shisilanga, 1 o'clock. So, okay, it's an interesting question. So, for someone who was born during the day, what do you think, or what time would they, besides, because logically you're going to say, oh, should see their energy is going to be more during the day. But do you think there's a difference where we see, because you were born at night, or born at midnight, or born during the afternoon, you're going to be a different person in terms of how you're gonna connect with energy and
That's your introduction to the world.
Is that scientific?
But it's spiritual. Spiritual studies. Get to any what is it when they say about meeting someone for the first time?
Meeting someone for the first time.
Yeah, the first introduction of someone is the most important one.
Oh, the first impression counts.
Yeah, first impression counts.
This is our first impression.
So that's even your first impression with the world counts, depending on when you were born. So it's like how you see the world. If you were born during the day and whatnot, that's how you see the world. That's the connection that you have with what is around you. If you're born at night, that's the kind of connection that you have with the world around you. It's stronger at that time.
So okay, now it's because now Cecily, why were you
born at night?
No, why you couldn't sleep though? What were you doing?
I did a couple of things. I went to a show first, Howard. The Black Sash was performing, and then
I like how you're just gonna say I knew. I know you're just passing. No, I went to a show. What show?
Black Sessions. Yeah, Sessions.
Oh, Black man, that chick. But what show?
Sessions. It's called Sessions.
I'm a Sessions, poetry sessions.
It was rap.
Oh, rap.
It was rap, poetry, dance.
And me now. Invite.
How you far, most?
No, I could have made plans with you. It's Friday. It was Friday, dog.
So yeah, after that, and then I came back and I paid about 10:15. And then I read a book, and then ngabo 1 ngabhala nyana ngazama, and then kusukela ngabo 3 wakashawa 6:15 just listening to music. Went back to the old first album by Eminem. Most people don't know that album. Do you know that album? Infinite. Yeah, I was listening to Infinite. Some other rhymes there.
Eminem, trying to touch music. Eminem. It's nice. So, okay.
So 1:15 and then game. Oh, and then I watched the interview. First, the interview got elsewhere shit.
Yeah. What's
smart kid? Yeah, he's quite
who's that?
smart.
I don't know that.
He's a rapper. Ubabake was something, but he was a poet from South Africa. For the sound, it's MMS. Okay.
Yeah. So there's something. Okay, tell me about the
interview.
Yeah.
Oh nah, he was just talking about something that happened within the hip hop community, especially with his record label and whatnot. But then it's past that. Then I listened to Lupe Fiasco's interview.
Ooh, Lupe.
So,
that's my.
I think that's when I fell asleep in the interview on Lupe Fiasco.
Okay, you know why I'm asking about that, because it has to touch with what the topic I want us to speak on, because I believe it's basically the right topic to start the whole situation, the whole podcast with, which is decision and choice, decision versus choice, where the first question I'll throw at you would be, what do you think comes first? Is it choice? Is it a choice and then decision, or is just decision then a choice?
I think what comes first is the choice.
Is their choice?
Yeah.
Elaborate.
Well, you can only make a decision based on what is available to you.
Okay.
So if the choices are limited, then you can only make the decision based on that. But if you have a variety of things, or all things are there, then you can make a decision based on that. So I think ngabakona certain things that you want to do, but that you don't have that choice to do that. Okay. And then you end up not doing that, and you're doing what you are able to do based on how much choices or now. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying.
No, I feel you. Let me set the tone with you. Why I believe this is the first topic we need to speak on. Because firstly, we took a decision from various choices we could have, went, to do this whole talk. And few weeks, is it few weeks or few months? I'm not sure. It should be weeks, like about my 8 weeks ago.
Sure.
I saw one video. Yes, because to me, decisions firstly, a choice comes first, because a choice is usually, it's either this or this, but you have to make, that's why you, from two things, you need to make a decision. You need to choose one, and then from what you choose, what you chose, then you make a decision to do it or not do it. And
so that comes first to you?
Choice.
Okay.
And then decision. The reason I believe that's a great segue, it's because I saw one video, dog. And that video, it was from a Twitter account a few weeks ago. Was a guy apparently on the video, because you know when people are doing some wild ass things and then someone records them. This guy was banning himself, like. That was the wildest decision, and the headline was saying a man was banning himself in front of the White House. That video was a guy in flames, on flames, whatever, bruh, from top to bottom. I'm like, hold up. So many questions I have about this situation, because bruh, he was on flames. Firstly, when you start watching the video, firstly it's like he was sort of like running, and then maybe the flames got too much, and then he was walking. But calm as hell, like strolling through right in front of the White House. I'm like, firstly, how do you reach such a wild decision? Because I'm saying there are so many question marks. Mm-hmm. One question mark would be saying, okay, obviously, was he making a statement? What was he doing? But now that decision, because I always say a decision you make, anytime you make a decision, it's basically saying what happened in the past, what's currently happening now, and then what are you planning in future. Any decision you make, any time you make a decision, it's speaking on those three things. So first question is, he's banning himself. Firstly, was that his choice? I'm not sure if you've ever seen that video. But I need to see that video. Was that choice his? Was it someone else? Was he under pressure? Out of all things you could have chose to make a statement, if that was the whole idea. Banning yourself.
It was his choice. I think it was his choice, because even if he said he was under pressure.
But now think about that type of decision. Think about the person who makes that type of decision. If we're gonna assume that was his decision and he chose, think what type of person can make such a wild decision, I may say, because that's now never. Out of all things, I would choose if I had to kill myself. If that's the average, but hopefully I never.
You see, it's a difficult thing to
fire.
It's a difficult thing to try and understand the mood from
in
action, because there are things under that before that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying because that's a wild. Think about that.
Yeah, so something even worse may have happened before to him, or did something, or we saw something, or he was influenced some way. But there's something that made him like that.
To what?
To a certain thing.
Okay,
just be able to make such a decision. You can't make such a decision because the things that you've went through in your life.
They actually get me
stretch you to go that wild, you know.
Experiences, Baba. I've been in a situation where I'm cooking, I'm frying eggs, and then mistakenly, just a drop of oil, just touches. I'm like, screw this. A whole flame from your knees.
And it was relaxed.
And he was just walking down because somebody took a picture. Because it was like a clean 1 minute without anyone coming. Because the guy was recording. He was like, no. You know what? Something's like playing, you're thinking it's a game, and then no, he's actually killing himself. I'm like, who? I'm like, hey, bro. Because to me, bro, that's a wildest decision, and it just shows Uguti, if he was hurt, Oh, here's the thing. Because when it happened, I had a question for the people that I was with. I was like, when someone makes, if you had to assume, when someone makes such a decision to kill themselves with fire, do you think when they make the type of decision, were they happy making it or they were not happy?
To kill themselves
With fire like that, publicly and in front of the White House. I don't know if that was true, but that's just how it's said. Do you think when someone makes such a decision, were they happy in their life or they were not happy or they were confused to just make things worse? Where do you think they were standing in terms of?
I mean, if there's a reason for you to stay alive, you would not do that. So if then there's nothing
You think-
worth living for you to stay here, then you would do something like that. So I don't think they were so happy about being alive.
No, they had the illusion of happiness, I would say. They were not entirely happy, as in like happy in life. Because if you're happy in life, you're not going to kill yourself. I'm just saying in terms of the situation they were in, they gave themselves the illusion of being happy.
Yeah.
And then they made no decision. Or they were just there and they were
Could
sad.
be both.
Okay.
Also, it could be just like, fuck it.
No, man. Because you could say fuck it, but man, fire dog, it's something else. Fire, you can stand fire for like 2 minutes. I think no, I'm lying. You cannot stand fire for like 5 seconds.
Well,
imagine a whole minute.
Well, you don't know people like
That's why I'm saying only. I was thinking only as a person who's happy about the decision can actually make such a decision. Because you can be mad, you can be sad, you can be confused. Fire is gonna it's gonna put you in some real state if you are somehow confused in your head.
Yeah.
That's why I can only assume you can be happy to decide to say, man, I wanna kill myself, and then I wanna make a statement at the same time. You know what? Let me just glycerin all over my body, and then because he was smiling, dog. The picture, he was smiling.
Oh, was this a picture or video?
First it was a video phone, and then when I saw an article, which means journalists, they came and then took pictures, and there was one frame where he was basically, even though he's not smiling, but his face wasn't saying, "Oh shit, what did I do?" No, he was just like, "Oh yeah, I'm dying." Like, man.
That makes you wonder how much the mind can bear. Do you think he felt the pain?
That's the thing. When you make such I'm sure he felt, because he started by trying to run and then cuckoo and then he stopped, because you cannot, where you gonna get the energy?
Yeah.
And
but there are people who are masochists in life.
Pause. Explain what's that word?
Masochists are people that are like.
I think meaning part of dictionary. I know when I read your big words, masochists.
People who like pain. People who are
come on, dog.
There are people like that. There are people,
but they like pain.
There are people who like pain inflicted on themselves. And
yeah.
More 50 Shades of Grey. Like real pain.
Yeah.
People who like pain being inflicted on themselves.
Yeah,
people who like pain being inflicted on others, and even more so people who are close to them.
So you think that situation
could have been masochist. But my question was, if you like pain, does that make it pleasure?
If you like pain, does it make it pleasure?
Is it still pain to you, or is it pleasure now?
I cannot relate, but if I were to, peek through a window there, I would say someone who likes pain. If you like something, you should be getting some joy from it.
Yeah, sure, it's pleasure.
So joy is pleasure in a way.
So maybe
I mean, I do not like pain.
That's why you felt like that.
I mean, I don't like pain from all forms of pain. Physically, mentally. Anyway, I don't like pain. I don't get pleasure from experiencing pain. So no. Wow, but no, man. Because I've watched this series where Black Mirror. Black Mirror is the wildest. I don't know if you've watched it.
I've never watched it.
Man, you need to putting you on. Black Mirror is the shit. Because what they're basically doing, they're just showcasing the whole technology world in a way. Like fast forwarding it, like 2035 type of thing. So there was one episode that actually touched exactly what you're talking about, where there was this what they call it, a chip, something where you could put that thing on your head, and then it would touch some pleasure senses in your head, where when there's this electrical type of head where you put on someone else, and then if you touch that person, I don't know if you touch them or no, once you have that thing on your head, you can actually feel what that person is feeling because you have this thing. And then they took that thing and then they gave it to a doctor because he was working with patients. So he kept on doing that, helping patients where every patient comes and then they're not sure what's wrong with them, and then he puts that thing and then quick. But then with everything, there's a pro and con in everything. So it ended up reaching to a point where, because one incident actually of one lady who came, an old lady I think, yeah, who came and then they had a heart attack. During that heart attack, they actually literally died while they had this thing, because now you experience the same thing the person is. So for a short period of time, he died. Yeah, and then you woke up. But now when you woke up, this whole thing now was starting to misfunction now. It was just completely different, where he was actually experiencing pleasure from people's pain now. So when the patient comes, they're really sick. He was actually like, yes, I like that. Up to a point where it got so strange when it was like, nah, take this whole person out. And then he got fired from work, and then, but now since this thing is, permanently, you're still feeling that. Where even if he was finding himself having some sexual intercourse somewhere, because his wife was wearing this thing, so that he can somehow get the pleasure. So when he's back and then going hard, he's actually experiencing pleasure. But now the person who's doing too, they're having pain because they're not experiencing.
Sounds like a dope series.
Yeah, but now it's just an episode. They have different episodes for different. Every episode is different. I'm like, okay, up to a point where, obviously he got divorced. I don't know if he got divorced with a wife or whatnot. And then now, if you're that type of person, you're gonna be somehow excluded from the society because now you are a widow. You can't be experiencing, because now if you experience, which means you become sort of a junkie for pain.
Yeah.
Where he had a shift for 10 o'clock and then he's there for 7 o'clock because now he wants to see the emergency. He was like waiting in the emergency room to see who's car accident, who's what. You feel me? So he was that type of person, and then he was excluded in a way. And then one day he's there junkie mode, and then he's trying to figure out how he's gonna find his way out. And then he had an experience where, I don't know if sort of pinch himself or whatever, needle, and then he's like, ooh, he liked it. And then guess what?
Started cutting
himself. Yeah. Take bra. But now that series might cheat. And then from there, he's experiencing pleasure from where? Cutting himself. His tooth out. Bra looked like a weirdo. Like, ooh. And then on top of that, there's one thing. It says he was experiencing pain, but now there was one element that was lacking when he was inflicting pain on himself, which was fear. Because if someone is in the mode of dying, they're gonna have fear and pain. So he was experiencing those type of things from people. So now when he's doing it himself, he doesn't get that. So you want to step further. What you gonna do from then on? Guess what? You can guess from there what is he gonna do. Streets, find a para somewhere, and then put this thing on him. Bruh, the wildest thing he did. And then, okay, Zimba. He's doing the wildest thing you can think of. Drilling a hole in somebody's head. Yeah. But now, because now he has this thing, and then this person is killing, has this thing, is getting pleasure. You are a widow. So obviously you need to be taken away from society. So that episode was dope.
I think there are people like that.
Man, I always say anything you see on TV, it's either somebody's experience or somebody's vision. So somewhere, somehow, it's imaginary. There's a widow somewhere who's able to think of. It's either he experienced that or he's just thinking that. So, I don't know.
Take a break, man.
Take a break?
Yeah.
My abandoned love, you were dying in the cold. Your only source of warmth will be to feel the heat of my heart against yours, whispering promises that await us in the coming summer. I will shelter you from everything you are afraid of becoming. The shadows you are hiding behind are hiding more from you. The darkness can only offer more of itself. They have been smuggling your light while you are in pain. Peel the sadness from your eyes. See beyond your own wreckage. I have seen you draped in glory. I have honed your light while you are away. Come in from the cold and let me drain the ice from your veins.
To wrap up, because at the end of the day, this is a poetry show.
Yeah.
Just to wrap up, let's just have a brother is blessed with some short poems, and then just see what we can take on the poem. What do you have?
Okay, so this one is called D's Eve.
D's Eve.
Play on deceive.
Play and deceive.
Yeah, to play on deceive.
On blessing this.
Your words can deceive even the wisest of men to give in. It's the soft bed you want to lay in, and you lay your linen in a way that can make even the hot-headed one to rest their head in. My head spins. Space is more than just sky. It lies deep beneath the root word of you and I. Your verbs contain no action. It's just words laced out in a pattern. It yearns for those who cave in, burns for those who chase wind. It hurts to know that even undercover you are still the one. The prototypes, words that mutate as I write, lullabies annulate or plagiarize script, and before my mind can drift into the abyss, I awaken when the clock ticks midnight to find the pillar that lays next to me remains untouched. The pain stays with me. My pillar turns to soul before my eyes. The mirror reflects the soul searching for the light. Please, let the silent night speak for itself. Stop trying to attach your beam with every breeze. Your words hold back so much life. The humankind is unkind to the heart. Instead of giving it what it wants, it rather rip it apart, keeps it beating by beating it till it turns purple. I say yes to all forms of death that lies in your lies, including the ones I haven't murdered. I'll just take your pretense as pretext of what's inside that mouth, but the unknown is such a fruitful gift because you still call it home, even though that's where the hurt is. I'm tired of playing I need you more with everything. So keep me dancing with my eyes closed. Keep rotating, but my heart knows that in the dark your light grows. But if I miss the spark, I'll be out in the wild hoping your light grows.